Wake up, goddammit!
Hey, gang. Good morning. Monday. I feel like I'm a little low. Why is that? Check 1, 2. That's better. All right. Let's do this. It's Monday. And I got a lot to talk about, which is my job. So, updates on one of our projects that we're doing with some friends. Those friends, of course, Dare Media, where you are probably listening right now, especially if you're in Australia. We have been forming and we have been working together. But finally, in recent weeks, we came up with a name for the conglomerate or the partnership that we've created that is both of us. We here in the United States are Mastiff Media. That's my company. Their company in Australia is Dare Media. That's them in Australia and wherever else either of us is at any given time. Together, especially for the Tone Tip project that we're in beta with the company that's developing Tone Tip, we are Matrix Media. The Dare Media folks have an affinity and a love for the Matrix movies. In fact, some of the things on their end, I'm not going to say specifically because I don't think that's necessary and might not be for me to say. Oh, God, my nose itches. Anyway, they use the various names to identify certain things on their end from the movie The Matrix. Just a thing they do, again, out of love for the movie. Also out of love for the movie, and out of need to find a name for then a puppy over 9 years ago, to have the letter M begin his name, to be the little brother to Moby, rest in peace, our big dog. Matrix was named after both the movies and also John Matrix, the character of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Commando. And so the combination of our love for the Matrix movies, so I'm not a huge fan, like I had to Google some stuff to put together what I'm about to show you. Nevertheless, we are a fan. I'm particularly a fan of Keanu Reeves. You know, I like the person that he is. I wish so many more people would aspire. Oh God, I'm itching. My eyes, my nose. There we go. Okay. I'm going to share something with you. The biggest project that we're doing together, aside from the obvious, and that is sharing shows and here we go. For those on audio only of any type, Dare Media, Mastiff Media, Twitter Spaces, wherever, go to inthematrix.co. inthematrix.co. And there's a bunch of other URLs that we purchased to include .us. Dare Media is going to get .au. And showing, at least I think I am. There we go. This is a tab on the Mastiff Media website. You can also go to mastiff.media/rabbit-hole to join the Matrix. Now, everything that you see here is a work in progress. You may come back later, and none of this will be as it is. I just wanted to get a placeholder of sorts after a call we had with the developer of Tone Tip this weekend. I just wanted to help step up the branding that we're doing for our partnership with the project and hopefully get us caught up to a point that hopefully we can soon be developing an app and a website for the technology that we're helping to promote. Our end is going to be, when it morphed into, we were going to do an app for the radio stations, like pretty much everybody else that he's talked to, the developer has talked to, has suggested. And to cut our own costs, we were going to do this app together, and we still are. And then I thought, well, why would I do an app for a station and have my 5? At that point, I think Dare Media had 4. They now have 5. I now have 6. And then possibly the addition of Jay Flanagan's 15 stations on one app. I said, we're moving more toward a directory than we are an app for a bunch of stations. Because one thing that we didn't want to be was iHeart. We are all of the opinion that their app is crowded and sucks. And so we're developing the Matrix. Right now, it's just Matrix Radio, Matrix Media, Matrix something or other. We have In the Matrix as the website, as the web domain, the URLs. Joining the Matrix will be the newest internet radio directory, a directory that is everywhere, little pull from the Matrix, with the newest technology to enhance your red pill, blue pill experience. Take the red pill, go down the rabbit hole. I think you got to know the movie to know that reference. Get In the Matrix. And In the Matrix, again, our URL, the concept we're pushing right now. And again, this could all change drastically, but at least this is a start. You see that sign up today is a button. It's going to take you to the bottom of this page. It's right there. Enter the rabbit hole. Bring your online radio station down the rabbit hole. Join Matrix Media's online directory and take advantage of the tone tip. Tone tip brings QR codes to audio. Tone tips are a high-frequency tone that carries data. Our directory, the only one of its kind, allows for stations to broadcast a tone tip and a link to the information carried by the tone tip as it appears in your smartphone or tablet. Coming soon for static websites. So right now it's in app technology for mobile applications. The developers told us that website presence is in development. And I mean, that's where I would use it. I'm sitting in this chair all day. But that doesn't mean that the bulk of our audience isn't mobile. They actually are. Tone tip, just the tip. I thought of that. But actually, the Dare Media folks have played with it rather nicely, if you pardon the expression. Enter the rabbit hole. If you've got a radio station, give us your radio station name, the call letters if applicable, if you're governed by the FCC on terrestrial radio, your first name and last name, and your position with that station, your email, your business phone number, the station streaming URL, and then plus the station website, the station telephone number. First, one genre is a must. You got to tell us something. And then genres 2 and 3 are optional, but they are additional genres that you can put in for purposes of metadata and tags and so on. Then a 2-paragraph station bio, followed by the station logo, a maximum of 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. And then submit in the matrix. Give us your info. We will store that info and prepare it for adding it to the database once it's developed and ready. But I wanted to start. I didn't really discuss this with the partners. They might blow up and go ape shit. They've seen it already, and I'm sure if that would have happened, then that would have happened. But I think it's imperative that we begin starting with the collection of stations that might be interested now. Since we launched this Saturday night as just simply a tab on Mastiff Media, mastiff.media, the website, we had more than 50 visits in a day. Now, for some website analytics folks, you're going to say, I get more than that per video that you release in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. I didn't tell anybody about this. I didn't promote this. I didn't put this on Facebook. I didn't put this anywhere. So I think that just shows, for as quick as it was for the four of us to come up with the Matrix and Matrix Media, based loosely off the movies, how smart of a branding thing it was, because everybody's searching that already. So there it is, Matrix Media. I get many of you do not have your own radio station. That doesn't mean that you can't share mastiff.media/rabbit hole. I'll put that up. Join the Matrix. So there it is on the screen. I mean, you can remember that easy enough. Pass that to whatever stations you also like to listen to. And what we're going to be offering, of course, there will be a free version that will be tone tipless. Actually, we'll still be putting out stuff for that station, and also how to. There'll be other alerts on how to download the Tone Tip app. Our step, well, actually, no, because our app will have that. If you're listening to music on our app, you will be receiving tone tips. That's the point. So many times we make listeners like you do all the work. It's crazy. The stations need to be doing the work. That's how we remain competitive. And that's how we as a directory will be bringing more to the table than stations 10 times our size. Or rather than directories 10 times our size. From my Thursday meeting last week, I'm working on putting buttons at the bottom that either are the tabs or at least return us back to the top so we can go to the tabs. I've just been wrenching on this. This coin, I've been doing the coins thing ever since John Kersey from Build-A-Space made the Mastiff Media coin. This looks, except for the ears, his ears are a little more perky, called rosebud ears. That looks so much like Matrix, my Matrix. Another launch over the weekend. Let's go to our stations and we'll introduce to you the news station. Shady News Radio is now carrying this show. Later this afternoon, this evening, it'll do its first newscast. Actually, well, really, this afternoon. And has been testing with me and Sportcat. So I want to make sure that everybody else has, all the other on-air talents have the proper login for that, so that when we talk and they come on with a news blast of any sort, it can be a news station. That's what it's for. Shady News Radio. Mastiff Media provides opportunity for free speech. Oh, that's not the right one. Oh, you know what? I don't have it on here. I was going to put another section, a blurb like this that I just started reading the footer. I was going to put another section of what Shady News Radio does. The news that we were talking about, local news by local people on a national audience. Shady news, just like the people we report on. Shady. That, of course, is my other dog. And, oh, well, does this look like her on that coin. And you see down the bottom corner is the Mastiff Media coin. That one looks a lot more like Moby before he got some whites on his snout and started getting senior and distinguished. Matrix has a few on his now, too. I do, too. So there's some more updates on Mastiff Media. Sorry to bore you for that with the first 20 minutes, but we're growing. We're advancing, and we are very excited to bring you with us. I'm going to actually kill that because I know if we go to the homepage, yeah, there's the show. It's running, and that takes up CPU. So we'll get rid of that. Up next, let's put this one first because it's there. So shark attack victim speaks. I was at his house. It's not his fault. So I have this, I guess he's a second cousin. He's my mom's cousin's son. He is one of the staunch Trump supporters in the family. And hey, you know what? You want to be a dumbass, knock yourself out. I'm done being nice to these people. How many times have I said you no longer have to be able to spell Google to be able to use it? Well, apparently this guy doesn't know how to spell or type. So when we come back, I'm going to tell you about Jerry Erb, my second cousin. And I wasn't going to do this. I was just going to, leave well enough alone until he tried to insult me in the show. And I'm like, okay, gloves are off, bitch. And now I'm going to bitch slap you. And that's what we're going to do next. This is Up the Middle on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back with the laughing stock of my mom's family after this. Hey gang, my name's Jurgs. I'm the CEO of the Jurger Group and Mastiff Media. We're partnering with Dare Media of Australia and are looking for new content. Do you have a podcast or maybe a live stream? Does it have a positive message? Is it about sports? Is it political? Is it news coverage? Is it for the LGBT community? Or is it even music? Don't forget, we're partnering with Dare Media of Australia. So not only could your program be heard on our stations here in the United States, but also in Australia. So if that's you, send us an email on air at jurgsradio.com. That's on air at jurgsradio.com. The jurgs.radio URL does not have email. On air at jurgsradio.com. And let's get you on air. The space. Oh, there it is. Build the space. Very good tech company. Now they're not who is developing the Tone Tip app. However, from websites, digital marketing, all of your IT needs. Go to builda.space. Outer space. Builda.space. Let them help you build your space on the web. Go to builda.space to learn more. You can also learn about one of their biggest projects called the Biz Growth Collective. The Biz Growth Collective is the next version of YouTube. Or not YouTube, LinkedIn. Next version of LinkedIn. Much better, business-oriented, not a wannabe intellectual version of Facebook, but for actual business networking. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to bizgrowthcollective.com and scan the QR code up in the top corner or go to builda.space to learn more about each. All right, before the break, I was telling you about, these people just do these willy-nilly posts, and they think that because they see it in a meme or because they see it anywhere on the internet, Facebook, wherever, that, oh yeah, well, I saw it there, it must be accurate. Meanwhile, for those of us in touch with reality, because I saw it there, I know that it's probably not accurate. I don't even know what this is. Some parody account of Donald Trump called Il Donaldo Trumpo. Whatever. Now get ready for the hunter. Okay, we're ready. I mean, we're 6 months in. He hasn't done squat. I love listening to all these MAGA morons talk about how much he's gotten accomplished. But yeah, it's all been, whatever he's done, is all been by executive order. Even having both houses of Congress, he's got very little legislation through Congress in 6 months. And most of it is going to be repealed in 2 years. But it says, now get ready for the hunter. Okay, well, we're ready. Anytime now. So I wrote back, I said, hopefully he's hunting for better gas prices, grocery prices, and fewer wars. That should be and, not ban fewer wars. We'll edit that and get the typo out of there. So hopefully he's hunting for better gas prices, grocery prices, and fewer wars. Jerry writes back and says, uh-oh, you mean the installed speed bumps? Installed speed bumps to prevent the start of the show. Have a great day. Have some fun. Oh, I'll have some fun. So that's what they're calling it now. His poor start is once again Obama's fault or Biden's fault. Anybody's fault but his. Oh, so after I stopped laughing at him, I asked, is that what Meg is calling it now? Installed speed bumps? Congrats. You just became the topic for tomorrow's episode. Of course, this was yesterday. And then I put something 24 hours, something on day one. You know, remember all the promises that were given? Oh, you know what? I thought I was sharing my screen for this. Sorry. There you go. So Jerry here thinks he's going to be, and this is the point where I said, okay, you want to try to make this personal. Okay. Fine. I'll tell everybody about your pathetic life, and you've done absolutely nothing with it. He says, hope your 3 listeners enjoy it. And I just wrote back, I guess you missed the K and the 24 platforms. We're on more than just whatever page he's looking at now, or whatever internet station you're listening to now, or whatever platform, or whatever. We are on over here. You can see them all. You see all of these Facebook pages? Look, see, more profiles. You got to click this. You can't even see all of them. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with Rainbow Radio. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 with Up the Middle Podcast. 16 pages and my personal profile for 17 pages or profiles alone just on Facebook. That's just Facebook. And of my 8 destinations that Restream takes the audio, that takes the video to, only one of them is Facebook, and that is my profile. That's because I've got almost 5,000 followers just there alone. So I'm not going to stop broadcasting to that because that's where an audience is. Those 16 pages get the Twitch feed, which is destination number 2. We're on Instagram right now. We're on my blue check mark, the Up the Middle account for Twitter. So that's 4. We're on Rumble, D Live. I don't even know all of them. Jesus. There's D Live, Twitch, Instagram, Telegram, Rumble, Facebook. Oh, we're not able to connect to that today. Have to try that, figure out that after the show. YouTube, we're back on YouTube. Twitter, and so there's actually 7 out of 8 today. But still, I'll fix that. We'll be back on it tomorrow. Then we're on, I didn't go live on that, but in a second, we'll be on our Discord server. Thanks for waiting, Ken. Sorry. You missed 30 minutes of the show. So Discord, TikTok. We're streaming to TikTok. I don't even know which account that is. At Yerger Group on TikTok. Then we're also on Twitter Spaces, the audio only version, on my personal one at Yerger Ross. We're on Build a Space, bizgrowthcollective.com in one of the 24-hour rooms. We're on Chatter. We're on Clubhouse. And I didn't even get to... Let's go to this list now, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 internet radio stations that are from all over the world. UG Media Channel XL is from London. The Dare Media, the 5, I think we're on all 5. So that's actually more than what I'm actually broadcasting to, because I'm only broadcasting to 2 of them, and then they share the feed of the one to the rest of their network. Dare Talk and Dare Radio X goes to Dare Country, Dare Gold, and the 5th one that I keep forgetting. Plus all the Mastiff Media ones. Forward Radio, Mastiff Media Sports, and that's been named, by the way. Rainbow Radio, Right Talk Radio, Shady News Radio, and Yerg's Radio. Yeah. So there's actually more like 10. But then there's also WZQR in Pineland, Florida. And Derek and Remain, DNR Studios, a subscription service. People actually got to pay to listen to us there. And they're paying for plenty of other shows and services on that app. So, yeah. More than 3, Jerry. More than 3. A lot more than 3. I just love when people see this little bit and they think they know that little bit. And as a result, they think they know a lot. The irony of me reporting on this today, are you seeing that right there? Skylar Herb, Dory Herb, that's his mom. That's my mom's cousin. It's her birthday today. So happy birthday to her. She's cool. That's her there. And that's, I guess, a granddaughter. I guess Skylar, yeah, because that's Jenna here in this picture here. That's her daughter, and that's the granddaughter, and it's her brother and her son that is today's target of stupidity. We try to educate. You just need to want to listen. Admin approved your photo in US Radio Promote. Woohoo. I'm not even sure I know which one that is, but there we go. Tired of the regular lunchtime conversation. Up the middle. Politics for the rest of us. Weekdays 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. London, 11 p.m. Perth on mastiff.media. There we go. Thanks to US Radio Promote. See? Look at who's that? UG Media. We're on that station. That's Sportcat, who's following us at 1 o'clock Eastern. I don't know any of these other folks. That's okay. Put our boobs on our Facebook photo. There you go. Explore talent, acting, and modeling. There you go. US Radio. Oh, that's a directory. We'll have to make a note to get on that. Although I got to go us-radio.com. Okay. I got to put that link in the, so you can all go bust Jerry's balls. Oh, Jeff Grant is hot. Ugh. I think he's straight, but that's the one straight boy. I don't care. I'll still flirt with him. I don't waste my time on straight boys. Why? If they're interested, they can come find me. If not, I'm not going to build my hopes up to get trashed. The Who kicks off farewell tour in Italy. Videos and set list with a revised lineup. One of the younger guys left. I forget what the story behind that was, but somebody's kid was joining them or something like that to join them, I guess. I mean, hell, I'd sing with the Who if I knew how to sing. Marty ate 4/6 of his pizza, and Lewis ate 5/6 of his pizza. Marty ate more pizza than Lewis. How is that possible? He had a bigger pizza. Marty's bigger pizza. So I'm not totally for this. This is from Amy Stahl, superfan, Jane's daughter. I get that she's going to be supporting her mom's career and so on. And I would too. I support teachers. But I also homeschooled Zach because there are no Jane Stalls down here in Texas. Or where am I? Florida. Yeah, Florida. There are no Jane Stalls down here in Florida. Zach's counselor, he already failed calculus, I think it was. And Zach's counselor wanted him to take calculus again because she thought it would make him stronger. I said, why? Well, now he has another chance at it. Oh, great. That's a great idea. A chance at what? Learning an advanced mathematical skill that he will never see again? I left calculus. Last time I was in calculus and trig was when I left the classroom, when I quit the class. And I got an extra class of teaching with my late football coach. Now, I get what she's saying here. Yes, of course, we actually need to keep decent teachers in the classroom and make them better teachers. But homeschooling itself is not the problem. And in fact, for me, without question, and for Zach, without question, it was the answer. His math class was day trading. His economics class was money management for high school seniors, taught by Dave Ramsey. You're not going to get that in public education in Florida. And now, what's he doing? Saving money. He gets like $1,600 or $1,700 a month from the state. And he's putting money away. Lives with his girlfriend's parents, who also now has a job. So she's graduated and out of high school and working at her mom's employer, a kind of a old folks home type of place. And Zach's actually looking at
This truck brings technology.
So I'm looking at a video of the Secret Service, and the beginning of the video doesn't allow me to rewind it. The beginning of the video is the beginning of the video was, it looked like our shooting range area. But that's one of the mobile command posts. And the drone launch. Yeah. They got, God, if I wish I was still back there. some of the toys I know they got. Learn more about that by going to secretservice.gov. All right. And that is correct. The student is correct. Marty's Pizza is bigger than Lewis's Pizza. It's a common sense thing. I agree. Shades, what are you doing? Hey. All right. Up next. I don't know if I'm going to get into the Brandon Straka and Scott Pressler thing now. Because Jane's going to be here in about 15 minutes. She's usually here early. Yeah, might as well. Let me take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about Brandon Straka, who's this one guy who was a lifelong Democrat until, I guess, like 2018 or something like that. Did the walk away campaign, meaning to walk away from democracy and walk away from the Democratic Party, because he's walking to Trump and has walked to Trump. I guess it shows you what drugs do to you. And now he's in a pissing match with another gay, uber conservative guy I used to hook up with back in D.C. He was actually just growing the long hair. He likes being flamboyant. That's his, and it's totally fake. He's not like that. But Scott Pressler is this political activist that's uber conservative and really, and this part I agree with. That's what we're going to talk about, is how he's really for himself. All right, up the middle on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back right after these words. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training, a dedicated area for stretching, dunk tanks, sauna, everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Tone tip. We've been talking about that this morning. Talk about it again. Don't forget, just the tip. Go to tonetip.com and download the Tone Tip app. What this does, it listens to our radio show or podcast. And when we send you, now I think most of you already have the tone tips that I have. I have to mix them more. But when we send you a tone tip, you're like a little bit of a beep in the background. That's all. And that's, I'll address that in a second too. And from that, you get data that either I'm telling you about, like go to tonetip.com. Not going to do you any good if you've already downloaded the app. But we can also say go to mastiff.media/rabbit hole. And I can send you that URL over the air. I can also send you locations. So when I'm broadcasting live from the farmers market, second Sunday of every month here in Hudson, Florida, I can send you a tone tip as part of a promotion for the farmers market. Here's where I'm at. Come see me at the Mastiff Media Minivan or any other event. And I'm not promoting myself so much as I'm promoting that event. That's what I'm there for. So go to tonetip.com, download the app. We're in beta right now, so this is important. I know so many of you have said, why do we got to download this app if by the end of this year we're going to be using your directory, because I need your help. I'm asking nicely. I'm begging. Download this app. Turn on the mic. It is Dare Media, folks. Who follow me, actually who follow Sportcat, have some amazing tune tips that they'll be sending you. And by the end of this week, I'll get caught up and I'll have some myself. I know I keep saying that, but I'm so glad to see Sportcat back. Not only because of my own schedule, I can get to do my job now, but also because I see he's happier to be back on the air. He's also back in Savannah, by the way. Got back there this weekend. So he'll be tipping you too. Remember, just a tip. Tip.com. All right, so before the break, I was debating whether or not to get into my next ball busting session, and I think we will. Why not? It is what we do here. There is Brandon Straka. Now somebody's messaging me on. Oh, I'm getting updates. Yesterday I was on a podcast with Casey and Lex. I think the mega girl's name was. I didn't get grilled too hard on like my own personal beliefs, but they dropped the episode in the same day. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, it just comes up on me, and I got my phone in my hand, and so this is some feedback from my episode yesterday. I'll find it and put a link in the show notes. But this is something I could be sending you a tone tip on right now. His stories are captivating. Can't believe all the presidents he has met. What an interesting life. Give that a quick love. So on your screen is Brandon Straka. Apparently, somebody else who doesn't know how to spell Google or doesn't realize you don't have to do that to be able to learn shit. And I get it. You're disenfranchised and disappointed with the Democratic Party. But for God's sake, don't just be a sheep and jump into whatever's next. Blackberry Dr. Pepper. Awesome. Don't just be a sheep and jump into whatever's next, which is what he did. He starts this walk away, and I guess in 2018 goes MAGA. Like I said, that's what drugs do to you. But here is his. We'll play you this. Oh, and in the comments, ADH debater wants to know about Jeffrey Epstein. We've talked about that all last week, and we'll do another update. Probably not today, but I'm not worried about being first on a story. I'm worried about being accurate. And so if there's anything new on Jeffrey Epstein, which I doubt there is, I mean, nothing that's really pertinent. Nothing that's really major or worthwhile. So I'm not going to just keep it going just for the sake of keeping it going. I'm on it. Just because we don't talk about Jeffrey Epstein today, and now thanks to you we are, doesn't mean that I'm not still following it. It certainly does not mean we've forgotten about it. We've not. And we'll be back to that. That's fine. But I'm just not going to be there every day trying to Jeffrey Epstein, when that's exactly what Trump wants. He wants a diversion away from other issues, like what we're going to be talking about in our second hour when we talk about really why Stephen Colbert was fired and still has to work for another year. You want to cancel the show? Cancel the goddamn show. Have some balls. Speaking of ballless, this guy's Brandon Straka. and is the founder of the hashtag Walk Away movement. I should have put it up on the wall on the background today. I mean, not because I support it, but because if we put that in the show notes and in the metadata, people will come looking. He's in a pissing match now with Scott Pressler. Scott, you'll see in a moment, is this queen who's a far-right propagandist, pro-Trump, pro-MAGA, thinks it's the greatest thing. And okay, great. If you've actually done any homework and believe that, God love you. Godspeed. Have at it. Enjoy. Be the patriot that you tell everybody that you are. But if you've done any research, regardless of, I know we want to have a vote, but we didn't in 2024 because they all just randomly picked Kamala Harris. Yeah, I get it. Well, it was also a very different time. We had a president that was running for re-election that in hindsight, maybe he led us to believe he wasn't going to 4 years earlier. But the decision to make that choice is his right as president, and he decided to do it. And it wasn't until as July, maybe even August, when they realized that was not the right decision. There was, in my mind, in my argument, there was no time to do a primary when most of them were already over. I asked on Friday to Matt Deemer, I said, what do you do for the states that already had their primary or their caucus? You're going to, let them do it again? He said, yes. I'm like, okay, let's see you pay for that. But at least with Kamala Harris, we would be sitting here right now knowing that in 2 years, we're going to have a midterm. And in 4 years, there's going to be another primary. And maybe she's going to try to support the idea that she should be the only one, as every incumbent president does. But I think there would be an argument to say, hey, we didn't get to do that in 2024. You need to allow us to do it now, just to be safe. This guy, Brandon Straka, can't see that. So he's all butthurt and takes the walk over to MAGA and tries to bring a bunch of people with him. Didn't work out so well in 2020, although he's also a conspiracy theorist for stopping the steal. And that's pretty much what the walk away campaign is. Just more propaganda and conspiracy theories. Oh, I see. We got somebody backstage. So we'll take a little bit more. This is a 14-minute video that we'll take a look at tomorrow when we can go through the whole thing. We got things planned with Jane for both sides now. And that's another thing I'm going to start doing. Right now, I'm going to end the Up the Middle episode and give both sides now the attention that it deserves as a separate. I know we dropped the separated parts of today's broadcast as a Both Sides Now podcast episode, but we're also going to do it better with doing it as a radio show too. So we'll save this for tomorrow. We'll bring back Brandon and Scott. If you haven't seen Scott Pressler, he's got some fabulously long hair. And it's well cared for, too. God love him. It's pretty. But you also see him he's on stage at one of these events, and he's in cowboy boots. And he's got those jeans tucked deep into the cowboy boots. It's 4-year-old laughable. All right, let's take one more break, and then when we come back, Jane's here. And we'll get started with Both Sides Now. See you in a minute. Hey gang, it's Jurgs, host of Up the Middle. With my university degrees in history and political science, and 21 years as a special agent in the U.S. Secret Service, I've lived what others can only talk about. Join me, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, Monday through Friday, on Jurgs Radio, Rainbow Radio, and Right Talk Radio. Up the Middle. Politics for the rest of us. So, let's see who's back there. Hey there.
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Here we are. Yeah, here we are.
Full size now for the next hour.
I know, and I'm Jane Stahl.
And I'm yours. And today...
And here we are. Yeah?
Yeah. Taking a look at Stephen Colbert.
Oh, God, that's the bad news. Shall we start with the bad news, or shall we start with
What
the good news?
I was going to say, do you have anything fun from Boyertown to update us on?
Well, you know, not yes and no. A couple of little things. Okay.
Go ahead.
Like there's not a whole lot. I mean, summer. And so people like me are spending in their backyards, as I did all weekend.
Rub it in.
And doing whatever errands I needed to do. But I mean, my pool was challenging. I have to say that. A lot of green algae, and then brushing that up made it all cloudy, and I couldn't clear it up, and I get panicked. But I went back to my pool company, Frunheiser's Pool, and despite my skepticism, they said, "Okay, do this, and then wait 3 days." It was like, what do you mean wait 3 days? I can't wait 3 days to clear this up, you know? But sure enough, you know, whatever it was they told me was exactly the right thing. And so by Friday afternoon, I guess it was clear. And I spent the entire day celebrating by reading Time magazine and floating in my pool. It was wonderful. So today I had to go back and tell them they were brilliant.
But did you not get to use it for those 3 days?
Oh, no, I used it, but I didn't feel as celebratory, shall we say.
Yeah.
You know, I felt sad because it was not happy, the pool.
Just a really good shower later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it was just cloudy. There wasn't anything else wrong with it. And you could still see the bottom, but you couldn't see the bottom clearly, you know, like we like to do. So, yeah. So anyway, so that was fun. But reading my Time magazines, I have to tell you, I think I probably told the audience before, starting about September every year, the end of September every year, when the new season shows start on various channels, some of my, what I call trash TV, you know, the Chicagos and the FBI's and the medical shows and all those things that I love, come back on the air. And so when Time magazine comes around, I have no time. I have TV shows to watch. In my spare time. And so those Time magazines pile up until I can get in my pool. And then what I do every day, I will take a Time magazine and float around a while. And I'm almost there. I have 2 more Time magazines to read. But the thing of it is, it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating because I read them backwards. You know, I read them backwards.
When you say you read them backwards, you mean the most recently received in your mailbox.
Is first, and then you know, gotcha. I'm now into the end of September. Okay, because I only have a couple of issues left from this season's installment. And that's a pun. Anyway,
you've got Time magazines from last fall.
Exactly. Yes. God. It's so fascinating, though. The tone, you know, what they thought was happening, what they thought might be happening. And you just read it and I think, we had no idea how bad it was going to be. But there are also some really interesting articles about all sorts of things, you know, and for some reason, my mind and brain is clear. And so, you know, it's really a a pleasant kind of thing for the most part. And I enjoy reading about different sports heroes that I kind of see on TV when I look up from the computer what Paul's watching and so forth. And so that's kind of fun. And of course, I read about movies and books and, but the last issue I read, the one I read on Friday afternoon, was about artificial intelligence. All the things and all the people and what they are doing. Oh my God, I am so stupid. My son, sweetheart as he is, he says, now, Mom, remember, there are all different kinds of intelligences. I said, yeah, I know, but I am really, I mean, these people do amazing things, amazing things. And I'm not saying they're all good, but they do amazing things. You want to say something?
No, I'm computer stupid too. And, the things I'm trying to learn and the things I'm trying to do with like Mastiff Media and now Matrix Media, we talked about that in the first half of the show, or the first half of the episodes today. It's a learning curve, and
it's amazing. It is, and what I'm most hopeful about, frankly, and I see some of this on my TV shows, my medical TV shows. But what I'm most excited about is how AI is going to be able to diagnose. I mean, quicker, more effectively. It's going to be Dr. House on steroids, if you know that particular TV show at all. Anyway, I'm excited about that for humanity. A lot of the other things, it's a wash to me.
Yeah.
But we'll see. A couple of days before then, Time Magazine had they do all these 100 things, like 100 innovators, 100 leaders, 100 people doing stuff with climate change, 100 people doing stuff with AI and so forth. Anyway, so a couple of days before the AI issue, I ran into one that was talking about the environment, all kinds of things that people are trying to do, companies are trying to do to capture carbon, to clean up the ocean, to be the carbon footprint.
Nice, right?
To be, Anyway, that was a fascinating read too. And once again, I'm thinking, boy, these people are so smart, and I'm so not.
In
all kinds of industrial, mechanical, civil engineering, electrical engineering ways, computer ways. I'm in awe.
All the different
and
things,
so that's been kind of fun.
All the different things that I wasn't happy with about the Secret Service. There's one thing where I think it was a good point that they made and a good teaching opportunity for all of us, and that is that we all bring different things to the table. When you see somebody else can do something better than you, remember there's something that you also do as well. And there's AI is going to have its place. AI is also going to be misused. Do it. We know that. That's everything.
Well, there were a lot of little mini articles in this big issue. There were a lot of mini articles about people worried about security and worried about, misuse and so forth. So that was kind of a happy thought. That was kind of a happy thought. And then today, the magazine, the Time magazine that was published this week. Now, if a new one comes in while I'm in process of catching up, I will read the new one and then go back to reading the old ones. Anyway, so this particular issue, if you're interested, because you could be, is all about, let me just say it right. Well, it's about the making of the Pope, which was kind of interesting too. But it's 100 creators, the most influential digital voices. My daughter has been sharing with me, some of the TikTok-y kind of things that she finds absolutely appalling and disturbing and whatnot. So I'm reading about things that people are doing digitally on Twitter and those TikTok digital platforms. Oh my God.
Right.
so much stupid stuff. Oh my God, so much stupid stuff, but people are making fortunes. They're making fortunes on their podcasts.
Yep,
doing stupid stuff, talking about stupid stuff. But I have to tell you, one of the ones that I'm earmarked to discuss with you today was a fellow by the name of Jake Shane. Now, interesting, Shane is also a family name, but I don't know that we're related to this particular guy. Anyway, I loved his. He is doing, what do you say, improv style skits of pop culture moments and historical events, how the founding fathers reacted to John Hancock's oversized signature on the Declaration of Independence. I thought that was such that would be such a cute skit, can you imagine, what the other guys would be thinking, what they're saying about him behind his back because he signed his name so large. It would just be fun to overhear, to be a fly on the wall in those conversations, to hear what they were saying to him about his signature and about him to their wives at night when nobody else could hear. I just thought that was it made me laugh. I thought that was
cute. Is, that story, right?
No, not really. You may tell me.
What? Yeah, there was actually a reason behind that.
Okay.
He wrote his signature that big when he signed it because he wanted King George to be able to read it without his spectacles. He actually did that intentionally for that reason.
Okay. Well, do you think his fellow signers forgave him and understood that, or do you think they were jealous that he took center stage?
Well, he was also the I guess they called it the president
chair.
Yeah. So it was normal that he would sign it first.
Okay.
And also,
anyway, that made me laugh.
Sign it. So
that made me laugh.
I got to take Shady out.
Okay.
Did you have something else to read?
To discuss with you when you come back, but I'll just share a few things that are going on in Boyertown while you take Shady outside.
I'll listen to it here.
Okay.
I'll listen to it here on
okay.
Newz Radio. Where was it? There it is. Okay. I'm going to mute myself so we don't cause a loop, and then I'll see you in a minute.
Okay. So, folks, welcome to Both Sides Now. And I'm Jane Stahl. And I'm here to talk a little bit while Ross is taking a break with his puppy. I'm here to talk a little bit about what's going on in Boyertown. So we have a bunch of things. One of the most exciting things that Leslie Misko wrote in the Boyertown Area Expression and published it yesterday was an article about two Boyertown High School graduates, Steve Burns and Matthew Freeman. They wrote together a one-act, one-man play, and are this coming week and weekend are performing it. And it's about Steve Burns. Now, I don't know if you know about Steve Burns, but he's a Boyertown graduate, and he was Blue's Clues. He was the guy who played that part, as it were, for many years. And what happened, for some particular reason, what happened was that folks thought he had died and started publishing that, he either died from an overdose or an auto wreck or something. And so this rumor about his death lasted for years. And so they are, through this play, making sure everybody knows now that Steve Burns is very much alive. So anyway, so that's coming up this week and this weekend, and it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting for Steve, who went through, apparently it affected him emotionally after a while. At first, it was kind of funny. Oh my God, they think I'm dead, not dead, but the rumor persisted. And he testifies that after a bit, he got a bit depressed about it, clinically. And so it was put the rumor to bed. And he also testified that he never felt quite right for the part. And so he always felt like he didn't know what he was doing on Blue's Clues. And every time he said, "Would you help me?" I guess that was a line on the show. he really meant it because he didn't feel quite right for the show. So that was tough. And it was tough for viewers when he left the show because it was a very beloved show. I'm talking about Steve Burns.
Yep.
Okay. And he and another graduate, son, are performing a play that they co-wrote, a show called Alive, to let Steve Burns, despite all the rumors over many years, despite all those rumors, he is very much alive. But we're real proud here in Boyertown of our Bash grads who are, on stage in New York. And Matthew, just this year, wrote a play called The Ask, which was fascinating. It had a fascinating topic as well. And what he was talking about, he works for the ACLU, and in his play, it was about how to, and I did not read or see the play, so this is what I've read about the play. So if I get it wrong, I apologize ahead of time. Anyway, so apparently The Ask is about this young man who is in process of asking for money to support the ACLU and the machinations, I would imagine, that he needs to go through linguistically and emotionally on both sides. Probably is a really fascinating kind of engaging performance. Anyway, that won awards, and he is an award-winning playwright and actor.
Nice.
And I've known him since he was in 9th grade when he performed an oratorical speech for the Optimist Oratorical Contest. And he was absolutely brilliant. Okay. He was absolutely engaging. He was funny and smart and all those kinds of things. And you knew this young man was going places. And Steve Burns was one of my students in a creative writing class. And that particular year, we did Shakespeare al fresco. And what my students did was to take a poem of Shakespeare's, or a monologue, or soliloquy, or a dialogue, a skit from one of the plays. One of my favorites was the interchange between Kate and Petruchio in The Taming of the Shrew. And anyway, and that particular one, it was especially funny. I had done it the year before when I was teaching 9th grade, and then brought it to the high school when I moved over. But I asked Steve if he would be the stage manager for that entire event, because what we did was perform all these little things. And you know the high school well enough. Mm-hmm. And the old gymnasium, the steps that come down, and then there's a platform. Anyway, so they performed on the sidewalk. Yes, up front. They performed on the sidewalk at the bottom of the steps, and the audience sat on the steps to watch them. Anyway, we had all these different things going on. So I wrote a script for Steve, or for somebody, and then I asked Steve to be the person who would be the stage manager and kind of wrap up what was just done and introduce the next piece and so forth. So, but he was at that time absolutely brilliant. I mean, I had written him a skit that he could use, but he abandoned it and just did his own thing, and he was absolutely brilliant. So these are two young men that graduates of Boyertown High School who are in the Big Apple, doing theater and being successful with it. And we're so very proud of them. So I took up my time.
That's fine. Well,
and more.
I was listening.
That's one of the things that's happening in Boyertown right
now. Why do I know Matt Freeman? I just feel like the name that is.
He would have graduated, so he's younger. You wouldn't have known him, I don't think, in high school, would you?
Yeah, no, because I was 90.
And he was at East, and you were at West, so correct. I don't know how you might have known him. Hard to say. But
Steve
we're
went to
proud
West
of him.
also?
What?
You knew Steve at Junior High West?
Did he?
Steve Burns.
What?
Steve Burns. Did you know him
Steve
through
Burns was East. No, I'm pretty no. He was East, and Matt was West. But somehow, no, Matt wasn't West.
They were both East.
They were both East, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, So it was,
Yeah.
it was, we're just real proud. We're just real proud of those two guys. And other than that, in Boyertown, people are taking the scavenger hunt, looking for
Nice.
in-town bear fever bears. Now, sadly, two of them have left town. One permanently, and the other one is in the hospital. Some cosmetic,
Okay. It's necessary
but
when
they'll
you're
be back.
a certain age.
Anyway, that's kind of fun to know. And then Star House Gift Shop created creative project that people can do by visiting and Brakeman's Cafe and somewhere else, and I'm forgetting where else. That's terrible, but I am. So she has Adrian has created an activity for people to do, and that's kind of fun too. So there's that. And today, I'm so excited. Today, after this broadcast, I will be meeting with Diana, who has created a booklet of the in-town bear fever bears with photographs and stories about the bears and the sponsors and the artists and so forth. And we're getting preview copies today from Everything Printing, and I get to proofread. My favorite job. I get to proofread it before we go ahead and print copies to sell. So if anybody's listening in Boyertown and has been waiting for a book of bear fever bears, we're starting. Chapter 1 is the in-town bears. Next season will be chapter 2 with the rest of the bears who live out of town. And at this moment, I have 2 bears on order and 2 bears in the hands of artists. So there'll be 4 more bears with, before the year is out. So,
and are they all Boyertown?
Amazing.
Are they all 4 of those bears going to be Boyertown residents?
Yes. One is for Martin Stone Quarry.
Oh yeah.
The other one is a memorial to a librarian English teacher from East who died before her time, and the family has purchased a bear fever bear and is currently in the hands of a young woman, another Boyertown grad who is currently studying at Rochester Institute of Technology, Audrey Martinetti. She's doing the artwork for that memorial bear. That's great. And I haven't tapped artists yet for the 2 new ones. And one of the 2 new ones is for Liberty Fire Company Ladies Auxiliary. And the other one, I'm losing my mind right now. I can't remember. It's Martin Stone Quarry. But the other one is in the hands of Jeff Graber, is for the police in this area, the entire amalgamation.
There's a group, right?
So lots of activity on the bear fever front. And
very cool.
Here we have.
So I found a link.
Another happy thing before we get to the sad thing. Another happy thing.
Oh, we're losing her.
Looking. Hi, Ken.
Oh, well, that's it.
Yes.
Try that again. We lost
Ken says he actually. Oh, I just said hi to Ken while you were thinking about something. And I noticed he commented he actually has a YouTube channel that is very successful. My guess is he's talking about Steve Burns, maybe also Matt Freeman. I mean, both of them are very engaged in digital promotional things. So anyway,
what were you, right as you had said one more positive thing, you cut out? And I think that's why I looked trying to think about something. Because
I thought you were trying to say something and I quit.
Oh, okay. Well, if you've got the rest of what you were going to say, go ahead. Your internet is better now.
Okay, the rest of what I was going to say about the positive thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, reading my Time magazines, I told you about all the articles and the 100 AI and the 100 environmental things and the 100 people influencers. Another article that I thought I'd share with you was 5 questions to ask yourself at the start of a new year. Obviously, this one came from a January issue of Time magazine, but I thought it was interesting to look at what questions to ask yourself at the start of a new year. And so I'm going to propose that number 1 is the most fascinating to me. Them were start at the bottom. Number 5 is, what would I do if I weren't afraid? Number 4, are my goals specific and attainable? Number 3, how can I make last year's problems? Number 2, what positive qualities did I notice in myself in 2024? But the one that made me think longer than reading the article itself was what brought me genuine joy last year. So I thought maybe if you were interested, maybe not today, maybe we have to think about it just a little bit, but I think that's a question worth considering. What brought you genuine joy last year?
Last year. Well, we can do that now. I think we got enough time. And I do have what Ken's talking about. I'll show you this quickly. There is Steve Burns and his YouTube page or YouTube channel. Alive with Steve Burns, and I guess that's the podcast.
No, that's the play that they wrote, I believe. Well, maybe it's the podcast too.
But no, he's got a podcast too. That's what I had found in my search. Clearly rather new, but maybe I can reach out and inspire him to do more episodes.
There you go. That'd be great. It would be fun to have him talk about that experience, maybe. I mean, once the production is over, all the tickets are sold out for the weekend. So,
right. And I have that too. You said they're already sold out. You know that?
Yep.
Okay.
That came across my Facebook page this morning. So yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good news. I have the link in case somebody wants to try it.
Oh, for sure.
If it's already sold out, then that's an awesome thing. It's at the Steve Burns Alive is for an audience 18 and over. At the club at the club at La Mama in New York, July 23rd to the 25th. That's this week at 7:30 p.m. The club at La Mama, New York. I'll have to Google that too and find out where exactly that's at. But if we're sold out, not going to matter to me, is it?
I know. Well, maybe they'll have a repeat performance somewhere.
Here is what kills me. He has 2 videos on that site and 144,000 views.
Well, he got famous through Blue's Clues, remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yes. I mean, you spent 20 years with the Secret Service. He spent some of those years, not 20, I don't think, but some of those years on TV in front of a national audience. So, of course. Anyway.
Yeah, do you know Leslie is the one that did that article? Does she?
Yes. And I wanted to promote that because it's an excellent article. Absolutely.
Yeah,
and gives some history of Matt and Steve from their high school days, and what they've been doing since. So it's a really good article. And she spent a lot of time on it. So, and Matt, she reached out to Matthew and Matthew responded. So there's some real life quotes in there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I read that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read that this morning. And I guess that's the chair, or at least his real life version of the chair.
Probably his real life version. Yeah.
Yeah. From the TV show.
Mm-hmm. But
And
great,
then that,
great. I mean, really, really inspiring people, really fun people, really smart people, and very engaged in, fights for humanity and, equal rights and all those kinds of things. Like I say, Matthew works with the ACLU.
right.
So speaking of ACLU and censorship issues leads us to not as much fun to talk about, but really gutted me that Stephen Colbert show is canceled. I mean, not just he as the host, but the entire show that has such a long,
Yeah,
wonderful history. I mean, Stephen's going to land on his feet
100%.
somehow. I mean, I saw something this morning about CNN, but I don't know what I'm reading has any validity at all. But I also read that Jon Stewart is worried that he's going to be canceled
Yeah, he's
on
not
Comedy Central. So, I
he's
mean,
not
it's
exactly
just a
shy on his
scary
opinion.
time. That's all. That's all. It's
Yeah.
just,
Well, this weekend I had a couple different calls. I got another one later this afternoon. The servers that Mastiff.media and that our radio stations are hosted on are not in the United States for that very reason. If the government comes calling to government friendly companies like YouTube, Facebook, and anybody else that was sitting in the background at his farce of an inauguration, they're not going to be able to come after me. Cancel me on YouTube. Cancel us on YouTube and on Facebook and on whatever other platform you want. We will still be on the air, and there's nothing he can do about it.
wow. And possibly, I mean, depending on how things go, we may have an opportunity to be a bigger voice.
Oh, we are. I mean, we have increased the listenership at
Yeah.
Radio X and everybody at Dare Media for their overnight. It's the middle of the night right now in Australia, and we have increased the listenership there beyond what they thought their night shift would ever have.
Wow. Well,
And
I did tell you months ago I was contacted by someone in Australia who caught
yes,
the Be Inspired podcast when it was probably, I don't know, broadcast in Miami area or Atlanta area or whatever, and they wanted to do an episode with me. So I was shocked that someone from the other side of the world, but
yep,
obviously the other side of the world is hearing you. That's wonderful.
yep. It's been awesome. They've Dare Media has been really good partners to work with and sit down and talk things over with and plan. And we do that every Saturday morning our time, Saturday evening theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Matrix Media that we talked about in the first hour today is going to be a directory of other radio stations like ours. And yeah, we're excited. I think that's going to go really well.
Very good. Very good. Well, what have you read or, do you have any insight into the Colbert issue?
I don't know what he said to start this.
Oh, I do.
Um, I'll let you take that. But what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing that raise your hand if you side with Steven and so on and so forth. And of course I
Mm-hmm.
do, because I know this is censorship oriented.
Mm-hmm.
If this was actually financial, if they're really losing the money that they say they're losing, he'd be gone now. It's the summer.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna lose more money when they can spend this summer putting something up that's going to practice and
Mm-hmm.
take place in the fall, or maybe announce in the fall that they're canceling for financial reasons,
Mhm.
and the fall is going to be the last season. This has everything to do with whatever it is he said, even though the far right uh, talking heads and sheep are saying that this is because CBS has actually lost money. If CBS lost money on this show, he would have been off a long time ago.
Mhm.
Television, especially corporate television, is way too competitive
Mhm.
for them to be able to, just because the actual income is losing and he's got fewer viewers and fewer ad spots, doesn't mean they've actually lost money. If he would have lost money, he would have been out a long time ago. And that's not what it is. But that's what you're hearing, this Republican talking head and that conservative talking head and other people who think they know what they're talking about, they really don't. They get a news story and they think that's a source. So, speaking of sources, what is it that he actually said?
Well, okay. So,
You said
well,
you know what?
he said
Yeah.
that the station had capitulated to a lawsuit, and Ken, maybe you correct me if I'm wrong, but the station had capitulated to a lawsuit that Trump brought against Meet the Press for some interview that they did with Kamala,
Yep.
in which they said they edited it so that only her negative comments about Trump were aired, and the entire context of her comments was deleted or not included, and made him look terrible. Imagine. Anyway, apparently the station capitulated in that lawsuit because the current owner of CBS was trying to do an acquisition or a sellout, or they're trying to combine with some other corporate media entity. And I don't want to say which, because I wouldn't bet my life on my remembering which, but there was some sort of deal that was being made, and Trump is saying, no, that deal's not going to go through unless you give me this much money. And by the way, my guess is, he said, and give me this much money and cancel Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert called it a big fat bribe that his station, CBS, capitulated to Trump. He said, it's nothing but I don't know what to call it, or I do know what to call it. It's just a big fat bribe. And 3 days later, they announced that he was gone. So,
Yeah. That's what that's what's so pathetic is that these
it's so clear.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
when Fox News, and that's why I put this one up first. This is the on the screen right now is from foxnews.com. CBS staffer calls Stephen Colbert canceling a chilling of free speech.
Whoa, from Fox News.
That's the point. Whoa. Fox News is even saying
this
Fox
isn't free News.
Speech. This isn't about financial decisions made by a corporation that has obviously capitulated more than once.
Oh, yeah. And Trump has said Jimmy Kimmel's next.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and they're not helping themselves.
I don't know.
Paramount is either buying somebody or is selling off. That's supposed to happen later this fall.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want to piss in the government's Cheerios because it's the FCC and the Trump administration that's going to have any approval over that sale. And this started with the law firms that had represented people against Trump in the past that he targeted. I mean, there was all this bitching about lawfare and weaponizing the DOJ and going after private citizens.
We have a perfect example now.
Where are we at now?
Yes. Yes.
Where are we at now?
As my husband said, they're all worried about lawfare and weaponizing, the government. The only problem with their complaint about that is that they didn't admit that it was they who were doing the weaponizing.
Yeah. I mean, I did a story in the first hour about this guy named Brandon Straka, who was a Democrat, left the Democratic Party because he was disenfranchised and, disappointed with and a lot of people are, and rightfully so, not saying that that is a good reason to continue to be, or not saying that the Democratic Party handled themselves well over the past couple of years. I don't think that's a reason to just up and leave. If you want to become so politically active, and you want to be a speaker, and you want to be, orchestrating change, why would you go to Donald Trump? Unless you change
he's got the
and follow.
He's got the riz.
Wow. Like
He has
I said it
the
before.
riz.
This is one of the first comments I've ever made on this show. Back before it was even on the radio. You can be a Republican. You can be a conservative and not be an asshole. And these people don't realize that. And they're saying Stephen Colbert was fired because of financial reasons. Really? Do you not have a calendar and any common sense? Look at the timing of all this and tell me this was for financial reasons in Los Angeles.
Anyway. Everybody should, at this side, both sides should read 1984. I mean, and say, oh, okay, well, I guess that's where we are. And see if, in fact, they're happy about that. I mean, just FYI, read it.
Yeah.
I mean, Animal Farm was symbolically clear enough, but for those who need a little more literalism, read George Orwell's 1984.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that book. In fact, I think I first read it in 1984. And like you with your Time magazines, I'm reading that. And I'm like, well, we're not there yet. So I guess, okay.
Yeah. Well, here we are.
Now. Yeah, we're there now.
And Brave New World is another one. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World is another one. So, Ken has a long comment for us.
What's he got?
Network. YouTube social media creates, start combining the networks to even go over to. Perhaps they will. Steven. And, there have been some posts on my Facebook page that I think are fake news, because I don't know where they come from, but suggesting that Rachel Maddow is creating her own, network. So you need to join them.
They're going for a station. Yeah, they need to come to Mastiff Media is what they need to do.
There you go. Yeah.
One of the meetings I had over the weekend was with the people who when I do stuff online for the radio station, the control panel that I use for that is a program called Media CP. I met with the CEO yesterday online, who's Australian also, by the way. And they actually have a video component as well. So that's going to really streamline what I do here on my desktop. Cool. And I'm kind of excited for that. Yeah. That's part of, I got a long day today. Editing this show, getting that up, getting last week's. I don't have last week's up yet.
Yeah.
Those both set up. I've got weeks of the regular Up the Middle to get edited and turned into a podcast episode. I always look forward to weekends because for me, Saturday and Sunday are just 2 more work days that a radio show doesn't get in the way.
I understand.
I never get anything done the way I want to. The stuff for like Matrix Media, our Australia conglomerate comes up. I spent the weekend doing this part. This is actually pretty cool. This is the. Are you familiar with the movie The Matrix? Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes. Oh, love that. Love that series. In fact, that series, my students were so into it at the time, and I kind of introduced my husband and Jeff, my son, to it. And we would, after school, Paul and Jeff and I and a couple of other, teachers and a bunch of students whom I was teaching, we would get together and watch the films together and talk about all the symbolism in them. That was,
Oh yeah.
Love it. Love The Matrix.
So they, in Australia at Dare Media, they love The Matrix as well. And they've got a bunch of things on their end that are named after the characters and different things from the Matrix series.
Gotcha.
So when we were trying to create a partnership or conglomerate or whatever of them and us, I said, well, I got a dog that's named Matrix, and he's named after the movies, as well as one of Schwarzenegger's characters from the movie Commando, John Matrix. Have you ever seen the movie Commando? That was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sure I did. Yeah.
So Matrix, has a good meaning here as well. So we just decided we were going to go with Matrix Media for our partnership.
Oh, fantastic.
That's Matrix on the coin there.
Look at that. Yes.
That's up on the Mastiff Media coin. So Matrix Media is our coin logo. And of course,
that's great.
The code that's in the background.
Yep.
And then the blurb is Matrix Media will be the newest internet radio directory, a directory that is everywhere, like the Matrix, with the newest technology to enhance your red pill, blue pill experience. Take the red pill, go down the rabbit hole, get in the Matrix.
Oh, I love it.
The other one says, bring your online radio station down the rabbit hole, join Matrix Media's online directory, and take advantage of the Tone Tip. I talked to you about that. Tone Tip brings QR codes to audio. Tone Tips are a high-frequency tone that carries data. Our directory, the only one of its kind, allows for stations to broadcast a tone tip and a link to the information carried by the tone tip as it appears in your smartphone or tablet. Coming soon for static websites. And then we put a little
Oh, fantastic.
We put a little window at the bottom.
Fantastic. Oh my God, that's so exciting.
Tone tip, just the tip.
Yes. Now listen, before I forget, I need to ask you if you have some prepared copy that Leslie and I can share on the Boyertown Area Expression about who you are and what you do as one of our advertisers. Yeah. We want to give some content, some promotional attention. And if you have some prepared copy about who you are and what you do, send it my way. Okay. I don't want to speak for you. I couldn't possibly put together all the things you do. So please help me out.
And get that other one too. I just, while I was checking a bunch of different things, I saw that a post that we made over the weekend promoting the station and our life outside of radio and so on. It was Shady's first ride through a car wash.
I saw that, and they ended up with pup cups.
They want permission to share it. And I'm like, oh, of course.
Yeah, that was great. Pup cups. That's so cute.
Dirty Dogs. Okay, I just got to take that note to reply back to Dirty Dogs. So yeah, this is all the stuff we're developing a database now. Your station's name, the call letters, and everything, contact info, all the stuff that they would ask for in every other directory, and logos and so on, with a matrix. Enter the rabbit hole.
That's
motif.
fantastic. Yep. Like you have
Yeah.
nothing else to do, but if you have some,
Oh
it
yeah,
maybe
that's
needs
easy.
a little
Yep.
updating, with join the matrix. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have nothing else to do but my work.
Yeah. InTheMatrix.co is will take you to that.
.co. Okay.
Yeah, .com was taken, so .co. We have
What does that
.us.
stand for? Okay.
.co is just another. It's just another .com, just without the M. .co.
So it's .co.usa or just .co?
No, just it's either one actually.
Oh,
If you
okay.
go to InTheMatrix.co, there it is,
Okay.
and it'll take you to that page. Oh, I
Okay.
just did it with John Oliver.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And then it switches to Matrix Media / Rabbit Hole. But if you go to in the Matrix .xyz,
XYZ.
yeah,
Okay.
we own that one. It also goes to the same page. So
Okay.
we had a bunch, and one of the things I learned from Mark Zuckerberg,
Mhm.
you buy
Yep,
URLs that are relevant to you, so
Yep.
that you can use them.
Mhm.
But you also buy additional URLs like .us so that others can't. So we own that entire brand.
Right. I remember you saying that, or somebody else did that. Yeah. Yeah. Very exciting. And you've been in personal contact with all these people on Zoom, I suppose, or FaceTime, or
The Australian partners, yeah, we use
Yeah.
Discord.
okay.
The
Okay.
same one that Ken's suggesting. Take a look at the Discord chat. I sent a photo. Okay. I gotta find the Discord chat. I guess, is this from?
So, mhm.
Let me see if I can reshare here. I don't know if you know what this is or what. Is that from the Matrix? I don't know the
Interesting.
I don't know the different toys, but I can tell the lettering and the coloring and such. It's certainly from the Matrix.
Yep.
But I'm not familiar enough
Interesting.
with them. I had to Google a
I
bunch of
need
the
to
stuff.
rewatch. Yeah, I need to rewatch the movies. That's all.
Yeah,
Guys
I had to
based off the
Google
Matrix. Thank you, Ken. Mm-hmm. Very
to
good.
make it
Very
feel
good.
like I
Very
knew.
good. And here
Okay.
you are again.
Those are
So,
dice. Matrix.
so I'm going to go back to my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What brought you genuine joy last year?
Yeah, you were. Seeing after a year off from school,
Oh,
seeing Zach
okay.
start college.
No kidding.
That was when he started college. Was last fall.
No kidding.
So he's got his first year of college under his
Oh,
belt.
that's fantastic. I did not know he actually started. The last I'd heard from him, he had not yet started. So that's really lovely. Very good.
He did that scary thing, and I know
And
Dad's.
has he declared a major?
I don't know
Not
that
that
he's
it
actually,
matters these days because they end up doing something totally different.
Yeah, well, he's actually pretty targeted in that he wants to be a counselor to help kids like him.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
So that we're in foster care and so on.
Certainly needy. Yep. Good.
Hopefully he tells the message that there can be happy endings for some of the senior ones. Doesn't forget about the old man. Yeah, I heard a beep. There's somebody. I don't know if you got a chance to talk to him. What about you, quick, before we got Sport Cat Jackson is backstage too. He follows us at
Okay.
1 o'clock.
Well, I had an extra 10 minutes at the beginning, so I can sign off to get to your other guest if you like.
Well, he's actually who's up next. Hey, you there? Sport Cat. I thought he was.
I don't. Yeah, he doesn't show up on my screen, of course.
No, his camera doesn't turn on.
Oh, okay.
He might have stepped away. But he comes up in 9 minutes. And
Can you hear me?
hey, there you are.
There you go.
Sorry, this thing updated and changed all my settings, so I don't know what's what anymore.
So he's been away helping family,
Okay.
and has been on the air for about probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 2, but yeah, it's been a minute.
Since we talked about the other day. It's been at least since March, maybe even late February, when he moved from Atlanta back to Tennessee, to Tennessee to where he used to live, to his mom and aunt. Well, his aunt was not well. Last week he came back on the air, and this weekend he got home to Atlanta. So now he's back in the air from the home studio.
Yes,
very good.
For a few weeks. So,
and you're Sport Cat. You're with my co-host Jane Stahl.
I see that. Hello, Jane. How are you? You look wonderful today.
Oh, thank you.
I won't say that about Ross. So.
No.
My allergies are kicking my ass, and
he's a hairy mess.
Oh no! Well, listen, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to let you guys go and start your show. And next week, Ross, I think it's my Arts and Activities Alliance meeting, so I might see you at 11 for a short time. Okay? All right.
We'll see you then.
You take care. Have a great show.
Take care. Have a great week. All right.
You too. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. So it's just me.
What you got for us?
Well, we got traffic takeovers, looting, protesters, jets. It's just a Monday. So, and then there's the whole political thing too. So they're going to put one president in jail, and then they're going to arrest another one, and one goes to an insane asylum. Hell, I don't know. So,
yeah, hopefully the one in the White House is the one that goes to the insane asylum.
He keeps posting some weird shit up from AI online. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's what we were just talking about. You can, and I said it. You can be conservative, and you can be a Republican, and not be an asshole.
Yeah,
but
and same for Democrat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just that, contrary to what Donald Trump keeps telling everybody, there's no Democrat in the White House right now.
Nope, only in his mind. So,
and what is it that people are finally now over Epstein? Finally saying enough is enough. I mean, granted,
I think the whole Epstein thing was a debacle from the administration. But
oh yeah,
I mean, if they're not, my whole thing with the Epstein, I don't care if there's a quote list, because there's no airport on the island, so you can't fly to the island. Well, I mean, you probably
there's a pad there.
Oh yeah, you can helipad from one to the other, but you can't actually land the planes. This whole flight list thing is kind of a misnomer. And then, even if there is a criminal list, I would rather see justice for the victims than I don't care who it is. Just bring them forward, prosecute them like we're supposed to do in this country, and let's just move on from it.
So this was down in the Virgin Islands, is where his island was?
Yes, it's a little, I forget the technical name of it, but it's a little island, yes.
Little St. James.
Yes, that's correct. And so, yeah, there's no actual runway there.
I was only a stone's throw because I went to I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in St. Thomas with a friend who's got a timeshare there.
So what you're saying is you're on the list. So.
Yeah, I guess I am. There's a few people who always ask me if Clinton was on it. I'm like, how the hell should I know?
Well, now I did have a question about that, but I mean, if they went, all these political people went, how did they ditch you guys, the Secret Service? I mean, so you know what I'm saying? How is that possible?
They don't. They take, at minimum, they'll take a boss and another agent.
So, okay. So then, all right, you're a law enforcement officer and you witness somebody doing something horrible to a child.
Well, we wouldn't be
if well, but I mean, you know, let's just say you quote know what's going on as a law enforcement officer. You're not going to let that happen. Well, I wouldn't think you'd let it happen.
You would be surprised the articulation these people give to stay out of something like that.
Oh, I'm sure, but they're not gods.
Yeah, preach, Reverend. You know, I hear you.
They're not, no matter who they are, Republican or Democrat, they're not gods. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong about that. I like to think that somewhere in the back of my head that there would be a agent or a patrol officer or somebody that would be like, hey, that's wrong. Stop that and do something. Yep. But I could be off totally on that, but that's just maybe me trying to be nice or give people a break.
So whatever happened to this then? You know, who owns this now?
Apparently it's still in the, I guess, family, because there's been money moved there recently, according to, was it the New York Times? Somebody published it, said there's been money and movement there at the island, but I'm not sure whom it was. I guess when you're that rich, you have your family is taken care of forever. So
yeah.
But I don't know what family he had, and even let's just say he had sons, daughters, whatever. That doesn't mean they did anything either. So people should get that out of their head. I mean, just, you know, my dad may have stole a car. That doesn't make me a car thief.
Right.
So, I mean, he didn't as far as I know, but
right.
He was only bad at
I
other
was
things.
always told, I'm looking, I'm not seeing, there's like grass areas that could be.
I never saw a quote pad like you'd set up in LZ. So I think the only way you get there is by yacht.
Yeah, I always thought there was, or there's plenty of like flat field space that we've used plenty of times for the president's helicopters. And
what, down there?
No, anywhere.
Oh yeah, and then they can put that. What is it? The Osprey. They can put it in places that's even more difficult.
They can't actually.
Oh, because I thought it was more agile.
Yeah, but those Ospreys, when they go vertical and those wings are tilted, it actually burns blacktop. That's how hot the exhaust is.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that. I can see that though now thinking about it, yeah.
So now if you think about that, you know, putting that down on an island like this, much of which is brown, which is telling me it's not all that, you know, even though it's surrounded by water, it's not getting the water that it needs to keep some of this as green as what it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Be bad to start a fire there.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a show to do, and
I got other work to do, so I'll give you.
Just made me think of a crazy headline that I read somewhere that they were saying that in Seattle they are without water because there's water supply has been cut. So I meant to look that up, but I'll have to look it up later. I won't be able to get it on today's show, but yeah, something about, I don't know how you're out of water by the ocean. I mean, I guess you don't have what do they call it, a something
Yeah, that's
desalinated.
when all the I was going to say when all the fires were happening in the LA area, all the far right people were saying we're drawing the maps of the coast, and they were circling water, and then they were circling fire, and drawing an arrow from the water to the fire.
But you can't do that.
It's not that easy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could drop in and theoretically just pick it up, but the problem is dumping salt water there will kill all vegetation and maybe wildlife. I don't know, but so you can't. Yeah, you can't do that. I guess in a pure emergency you could, but I wouldn't do it for like a large area. And as far as our pumps and stuff, you can't run it through fire pumps. So,
right.
I mean, I guess like I said, you could, but it'll destroy the pump. So.
Yeah,
it's funny. Even a little tiny rock will do a lot of damage to those pumps.
Right. Oh, my eyes are killing me. All right, I'm going to cut the radio right now. Are you ready?
All right. Let me find that button. I am.
Good.
All right. Daddy is going to take control. And let's see. We should be green, green, green. No, I am not green on Radio X. Why am I not green on Radio X?
Okay, so are you green on talk?
I'm green on talk.
Yeah, then they can use that to pipe it over to relay it.
I swear I was green on all of them yesterday.
Yeah, I saw your post about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I checked on my settings. I mean, maybe they might need to send them to me again or something. I don't know.
All right.
So,
well, Steve Burns, somebody Jane and I talked about earlier. Steve Burns Alive is this week, July 23rd to July 25th, 7:30 p.m. at the club at La Mama, New York, New York. Check that out by going to ticketleap.events and searching for Steve Burns Alive. That's the only plug I'm going to do.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I am going to go try and wake up and do a show. All right, brother. I will see you soon. Message them in the chat and tell them that I'm not live on Radio X.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hit them up. All right.
All right, brother. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow or talk to you tomorrow.
Yep. See you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's going to do it for us. I got some administrative stuff to do. As you just heard, I got to reach out to our friends at Dare Media, let them know that he's having another issue with the Radio X feed. And I got a long list of my own stuff to do. So I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for getting off the porch, running with the big dogs, and going up the middle. See you again.